welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to another mukbang. I'm Teray and you are watching Inside Out Triangle, where we think outside the box. This mukbang, we have a lot of different foods. We have pizza from Pizza Hut. Then we actually are at a different location today, so we ordered from a nice Chinese restaurant where we got dumplings, crab sticks, crab rangoon. We've got chicken wings, A&W root beer sodas, my favorite, whiting fish. I love it, fried with french fries. Then we have the mystery egg rolls. I think I ordered steak and cheese egg rolls, shrimp egg rolls, and I think there's one mystery pork egg roll. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I think I gotta try my favorite first, which is the whiting fish. I love whiting fish. It's just so good. Just take it up real close to the camera thing. Okay. Today I'm here with my husband and my daughter, and we are going to focus in on the week of terror. Oh my goodness, this whiting fish. I don't know if you saw it or not, but my daughter grabbed the crab stick. Look at that whiting fish. It's just so good. All that white meat. It's just delicious. Just flavorful and tasty and really good. So let me set the scene. And I forgot napkins again this time. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, I forgot napkins again. French fry. So I'll set the scene by stating that this week, W-E-E-K, Week of Terror, started May 17th, 1918. In Brooke and Lowndes County, Georgia. Thank you. This pizza, my daughter has made me a convert. She doesn't like it with the regular marinara sauce, so she always orders it special with like a white sauce.
Parmesan.
Oh, Parmesan sauce. And she puts chicken on it. Grilled chicken? It's regular chicken. But then she said she went a little crazy today. She wanted to be a little more creative. And on the other half of the pizza, she did bacon and ham. And I thought about it. That sounds like a decent combination. And of course, she had that stuffed crust, which is hilarious because for the first 19 years of her life, she hated cheese. She was the only child in America who hated pizza. And you know how many pizza parties you have at school and at birthday parties? She would be the only little kid sitting in the corner just munching on a hot dog. Or everybody else is eating greasy, delicious pizza. So I don't know what happened. I think her taste buds just changed when she turned 20. But now she loves pizza, so she's trying to catch up. You know, make up all that past time. Okay. So we are back in Georgia. I don't know about you, but out of my entire life of working, I've had some good bosses. I've had some okay bosses, And I've had some horrible bosses. Well, maybe not horrible, just incompetent. I'm like, how did you get the job? One time, I had a boss, and we were all on the same level. 1 year, then we came back the next year. No, we were all on the same level. Except her class was the worst class. You would walk into her class when the kids would be throwing paper airplanes, everybody be up and out of their seats. She'd just be sitting at the table just smiling. Then the very next year, when we came back, she was the principal. And all of us were like, but you couldn't even control your class. But now you're the principal of 50 other classes. Okay. I also had an incompetent boss where we all trained for 6 months at a certain task. Then he took over and he told us this is totally wrong what you guys are doing. He had watched a video. So we all had to switch and do it his way. And then 2 days later he came back. Didn't say he was sorry, but just like, hey guys, go back to the other way of doing it. You know, the way I told other people to train you 6 months ago. Just totally incompetent. So, I've had some good bosses, some okay bosses, and some incompetent bosses. Which brings me to this story. May 17th, 1918. There's a young man who's 19. His name is Sidney Johnson. Now, Sidney Johnson was outside, just living his life. And back in those times, you had to find ways to, entertain yourself. So what he did was something called rolling dice. And rolling dice apparently was illegal at that time, but I mean, seriously, just throwing dice. So he got arrested. He went to court, didn't have 2 nickels in his pocket. The judge fined him $30. $30 to us would be about $500 and something dollars. So that was a lot of money. He didn't have it. Now this particular boss would come to the courthouse because he was such a horrible boss. He used to beat his employees. He used to cheat them. So he couldn't find people to come and work for him anymore. So what he did was he would go to the courthouse. He would sit there and wait for people that couldn't pay the fines. And he said, hey, I'll pay your fine and come and work for me. Once you finish paying off your fine, you're free to go. So that's what he did for young man Sidney Johnson. Sidney worked for him, did a good job. Everybody said he was doing fine. He even worked back overtime or extra time. He goes to the boss and he says, hey, I paid off my fine. I just want you to pay me for the extra time, the extra work that I did. This boss said, you ain't paid, you haven't worked anything. You haven't worked off that fine. Shut up and get back to work. So they got into a tussle. And what happened was, Sidney Johnson, 19, actually ended up shooting the boss. And then he ran because he knew that bad things were now going to happen. So he ran and hid. Now, those 2 counties, all the white men decided, hey, we got to find this guy, Sidney Johnson. They couldn't find him. So they decided to take it out on everybody else that they saw. The first guy they came across, his name was Will Head. And this was Friday morning on the 17th. They captured him and they held on to him. Friday afternoon, they found another guy. I'm sorry. I'm going back to my handy dandy notebook. But I put glasses. I'm trying. His name was Will Thompson. They found him. They put Will Head and Will Thompson together and they shot them over 300 times. They were completely innocent of anything. But because they were black and they were there in the counties, this mob of men took them and shot them over 300 times. They said, you know what? We're still not done. Saturday morning, a young man named Haynes Turner. Now, Haynes Turner had worked for the boss before, and so had his wife. Well, Haynes Turner was 26. His wife, Mary Turner, was 20. And she had worked for him before as well. However, remember I told you this boss was so horrible that he used to beat his employees. So he beat Mary Turner one time. They didn't say the reason, but he did. Haynes protected his wife and beat up the boss. So they took him, they put him in jail. He served his time, and he got out of jail. But on Saturday morning, Haynes Turner was in his house with his wife. The police come and tell him, we're going to arrest you for the murder of this boss. They take Haynes Turner to jail. The mob has found out. This is a good egg roll.
Steak.
I still don't taste anything. I just taste vegetables.
Yeah. It's like nothing in it.
It's like nothing in it. It's supposed to be cheesesteak or shrimp or the mysterious pork. My shirt wants to knock over all the food. That better not happen on camera. It's okay. It's crunchy, but it's supposed to be filled with cheesesteak.
See any?
Nothing. Not even a little shrimp. You guys see anything? All I'm tasting is vegetables. It's not bad. So Haynes Turner's in jail. The sheriff says, hey, we're going to move you because this mob is coming to get you. So they get Haynes Turner, they take him and they're getting ready to move him. They make it to the bridge, the mob stops him. They pull Haynes Turner out, they handcuffed him with his hands behind his back, and they hang him on a tree. They did not cut the body down. They left him hanging on the tree until Monday. So you're talking about at least 100 people walked by that poor man while he was dead. And it was like it was nothing. There was no outcry or anything. They just saw the body and just kept on walking, or they rode by in their cars or whatever. So, I don't know about you, but when you're in a relationship and you love the person, you really care about the person, especially if you're married or getting ready to be married or something along those lines where you deeply care about this person, you love this person with all your heart. I get what's about to happen next. So Mary Turner was so distraught. Let me back up for a second. She's 8 months pregnant. That's kind of a big thing. It's gonna come into play later. It's kind of pertinent there. She's 8 months pregnant. Her husband has been killed unjustly on a tree. She's highly upset. So she's screaming, and she said that she wants to take out a warrant on all the men that's in the mob that murdered her husband. The mob hears about this, and they're like, we're going to teach her a lesson. We're going to teach this 8-month-old, 20-year-old girl a lesson. So it is now May 19th. So there's two significant things here for me. One, because I have a 20-year-old daughter. And two, because my birthday is May 19th. Marie finds out that the mob is coming for her. So imagine her waddling, trying to run and hide away from this mob. She thinks she does a good job. The mob finds her. They take her to Folsom Bridge. Now remember, their mindset is their mindset is they're going to teach her a lesson. They bound her by her ankles and hung her from a tree upside down. That's not all they did. Laughing, taunting her. They take gasoline from out of their trucks. They pour it all over her. They take oil from out of their trucks. They pour it all over her. And then they set her on fire. She's burning, screaming, in pain. The fire goes out, and unfortunately, there's still life in her body. So they take something called a pig slicer. Apparently that's a weapon that they had back then that would help them slaughter pigs. And they cut her belly. They're giving her a crude cesarean operation. So they slice her belly open. Her baby falls out. To the ground. The baby lets out 2 cries. Somebody in the mob comes over to the baby and smashes the baby's skull with their heel. They're still not done. They then back up and they shoot her over 300 times. Finally, she is done suffering. They take her body and the baby's body and they bury it 10 feet from where it happened on a small oak tree. They didn't make a headstone for her. They just took a whiskey bottle and put a cigar in it. And that's what they left on her grave. The mob still isn't done. Remember, this is a week of terror. So they found another black man. Let me get his name. Nobody take pizza? Thank you. Thank you. That was a good job. They found another man. His name was Julius Jones. There's really not an account of what happened to him. The history documents just state that he was found dead. They found 3 other bodies, but the bodies were unidentifiable. I want to make sure I get this right, because I want to tell the story with dignity and justice. I want to do it justice. So then they found another guy. His name was Chaim Riley. But at this point, the mob was too scared. They were a little fearful that there was going to be a lot of repercussions because all these black people were coming up dead. So they wanted to hide this one. So what they did was they took him down to the river and they made something called a turpentine cup. Now, from my understanding, from what I read, it's kind of like cement cuffs that they poured on his feet. They poured on his wrists and they threw him in the river. So that's how they weighed him down. And that's how he died. So they were trying to hide this body. Now, one of the guys that was actually there in the mob, he said he didn't participate, but he was there in the mob. He said a few days later he wanted to see if the body had washed up. It didn't. But one of the turpentine cups did wash up. He took the turpentine cup, took it home, and kept it as a souvenir. As a souvenir. Unbelievable. Man, this fish is so good. How's the pizza?
Yeah, it's good. They put too much pineapple on it though.
But you would think the pineapple and You think that'd be good? Like ham? You put pineapple on ham when you cook it?
Oh, it's pineapple and bacon.
But ham, bacon?
Oh.
Oh my god. I miss whiting fish so much. They did find another man. His name was Simon Schumann. Now, this one is a little iffy because he was never found again. But his house had been ransacked. His front room had been his living room had been completely destroyed. So there are some accounts that are saying that the mob from the Week of Terror did get him. But there are some accounts that said that he did run away to the north and he made it. So hopefully he did make it. The mob is still not done. So while Sidney Johnson, remember Sidney, the 19-year-old who ran away, while Sidney Johnson,
Wait, this is all because he beat up the boss?
he actually did shoot the boss, but
Yeah.
according to what the accounts, I mean, this boss was a really bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably was almost beating him to death, that type of thing. It's probably a self-defense type thing.
Did he die? He just shot. Gotcha.
Yeah. He died and his wife got shot too. According to documents, the wife got shot near the heart, but they were able to save her. They were able to revive her. But the boss did die. So now remember, Sidney ran. He ran to another place. And then there was a guy there. He said, "Guy, don't tell anybody I'm here. I'm just trying to make it to the north. I'm just trying to get out of here." So what did the guy do? As soon as Sidney Johnson turned his back, the guy ran to the sheriff and said, "Sidney Johnson's over there. He's at my house. He's, in my area." So now there are some accounts that said Sidney Johnson said he was not going to be caught alive. So he had a shotgun. So the mob comes.
Hold up, when the dude that went to get the sheriff,
Yes,
he was black or white?
he was black. He was black.
He wasn't scared that the mob would possibly come for him because he was housing Sidney.
I agree. That's probably. I mean, and plus, there's been so many murders and stuff that's happening. He probably was in self-protection mode. I don't know, but he did tell the sheriff. So, but that's probably what his main motivation was. So Sidney's in the place. He has a shotgun. He doesn't think he's going to make it out alive. He doesn't want to make it out alive. The mob comes. They barrage the place with bullets. They said it was like raining that many bullets. They waited until they didn't hear any more return fire. That's what it's called. Yeah, return fire. So they're like, he's either reloading or we got him. They go into the place where Sidney was hiding. And Sidney was found dead. The mob wasn't happy about that. They said they felt, ooh, that was nice and crunchy. But again, I don't see any meat. Do you see meat?
Which one is that one?
They all the same.
I think they just gave us all veggie egg rolls. He ain't got that close.
And they're surprise egg rolls?
It was supposed to be a pork. It was supposed to be one lone pork egg roll. And this was supposed to be your sauce for him.
Oh, it's too late.
Can I get the egg roll now?
I think so.
Is this sweet or
No,
savory?
it's not sweet. It's kind of salty.
Alright, I'm gonna try and dip it in.
I'm pretty sure it's just soy sauce.
That's not bad. It's just I wanted cheese steak and my egg roll. It's not bad. So the mob is not. They felt robbed. So what they did was they tied a rope. I'm sorry. Let me back up. He's dead. They take a knife, and according to the documents, it said unsexed him, which I guess was a term back then. Though we know that means they castrated him. They got rid of everything. They took it and threw it in the front yard. And then they took a rope, they placed it around his neck. They took the other end of the rope and attached it to an automobile. And they drug his body for between 16 to 20 miles, depending on which document you read. Body parts, body limbs are falling off as they're desecrating his body. People are picking up the pieces and using them as souvenirs. When they drug him to his final destination, they then hung the actual whatever the hump that was left from a tree and set it ablaze. Then they were done. Now, from the documents that I read, over 500 black people, after experiencing that week of terror, up and left those two counties in Georgia. Because between 11 and 13 black people died. It was mostly men and one woman, Mary Turner.
What year was
This was 1918. Started May 17th, 1918. No charges were brought to anybody. Nobody was arrested. There was no justice done. So people got together. I hope I'm getting this right. It's either in 2008 or 2010. And started the Mary Turner Project. Because after all of that, the NAACP had sent down a man called Walter White, who actually was a fair-skinned black guy. He had blonde hair, blue eyes, so he could actually pass for a white person. And he was able to actually go up to the people and take accounts of what happened. They would freely tell him, what happened during these lynchings because they thought he was one of them. So he was the main person that wrote down this information. He took that information, the whole, week of terror, and sent it to like the governor of Georgia and places like that, and that helped to that helped to get started. That helped to start the anti-lynching laws and stuff that started to get passed. So now we're fast forwarding to 2008/2010. It's one of those years where they started the Mary Turner Project. In that project, they were able to make a little marker for her on the side of the road where she actually, near the tree where she actually died. And it entails the story of what happened to her. It was 2008. Because in 2010, they went back. Different people have come and seen it and all that good stuff. And there are 3 fresh bullet holes in it.
That's what happened to Emmett Till's one.
Emmett Till's too?
He had a sign near the lake where they found him.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep spraying it with bullets.
In 2010. So this mukbang, I really had to get it out. I kind of was putting it off a little bit because it's really heavy. I was putting it off, but I was so full with information, I had to get it out. And the reason why I feel like we have to learn these things is because we can't move forward without looking back and remembering what happened. So that way we can fully move forward, because we're saying, this is a big thing now. We're saying we're all in this together. We all need to know what happened. So that's why this is my second mukbang. Please, if you know anything else about the story, if there's anything else that you'd like to get out about it, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will have another mukbang out shortly. And we're going to go ahead and finish this up. It was really good. A really good mukbang today. So again, any questions, any comments, please feel free to write it down below. I do try to respond, I really do. And thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. You have a great day. Bye now.